Hey guys, yeah, I'm not live streaming this or anything, it's just recorded, so it's going to be uploaded while I'm working. But I wanted to talk about GroGar. Now, in case you guys don't know who this is, he is the upcoming villain, if you will, for potentially the last season of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. And I did a little research because I do have the original series on DVD. I mean, I have the complete series on DVD. There's no doubt about that. I have it. So I did a little research on a little bit more on GroGar, because I know I've seen him before in the series. And from what I understand, in his original appearance, he came back after being gone for I don't know how many years. And he came back to kind of regain control over Dream Valley, basically G1's equivalent of Ponyville. So he came back to basically regain control, but also to, as in the original, kidnap the unicorns if you will, and send them as the saying went, send them into the shadow world. Basically, I can't think of the name right now, but it's it's something. It's supposed to be like a nightmare world, where they would be attacked by these things called frogs. Now, his original intent, according to what the biopic is, according to what not the biopic, but basically the information I got says, is his original goal is to kidnap all the unicorns, and then proceed to kidnap and send into this neighborhood world the rest of the ponies in Dream Valley, or in this case, Equestria. Well, that's basically what Dream Valley was more like the Equestria of G1 than to us, basically. To us, Dream Valley was the Equestria, then the Canterlot, the Ponyville. And here, it was more, and here, of course, this is our interpretation of Dream Valley, of the Ponyland, and all that, of G1, which is Equestria. You get the idea. I just woke up from a bit of a nap a little bit during my lunchtime. I probably still have to get something to eat in a bit, but anyway, yeah. But anyway, yeah. The thing is. But yeah, the thing is, hold on for a second, let that car turn. But anyway, like I said, the thing is, he's very, very powerful. And in his original defeat, according to the legend, it was by a bell. Some ponies came together, I think it was unicorns or something like that, and they defeated him by ringing a bell. When he made his return, he was defeated the same way, but more so thanks to Megan. Megan, who was the human friend of the ponies in the original G1 series, defeated him with the bell, but also destroyed the bells around his neck that gave him power and banished him and his trogs or his minions back to the shadow world, back to the nightmare world. So now, how is that going to play into G4 next year? Well, we already kind of got a hint. We already kind of got a hint that he is part of equestrian lore or equestrian legend in G4. In Flurry of Emotions, Twilight read a story to Flurryheart that featured GroGar. And the legend is he was defeated by a group of unicorn warriors, a leader. I can't think of the leader's name if they gave her a name, but it was a group of unicorn warriors that used their magic to kind of beat back GroGar, but even though they beat him back, it still wasn't enough. Sorry about that, but like I was saying, it still wasn't enough to defeat him. He used basically the power of fear, some kind of dark power that controlled fear or something like that, to kind of bounce back. It's like he was defeated, but not soundly. Now, they don't say anything else. They don't mention about a bell or anything. All we know is it was a group of unicorn warriors, which, if we know interpretation, is the serious. If we know, not interpretation, but if imitation is the sincerest form of flattery when it comes to G4, then pretty much we know that the unicorn warriors for this current generation, or for that current time frame of when Friendship as Magic takes place, that group of warriors is either going to be the main 6, the main 7, or the group of warriors, the unicorn warriors, like I said, are going for basically this time frame. For this time frame is going to be the equivalent of the main 7, the main 6 being this generation's unicorn warriors, or it's going to focus on a certain group of unicorns in the current generation, in the current time frame, to defeat him, to defeat GroGar, which means when GroGar appears, you're pretty much going to be looking at 4 alicorns and possibly 2, maybe 3 unicorns to defeat him, or 4 alicorns and basically 2 unicorns to defeat him. And who are those alicorns? Well, of course, Celestia, Luna, Cadence, and Twilight. And the unicorns, no doubt, would be Starlight and Rarity. Now, I could be wrong, and they could throw Sunset into that as a surprise wild card, which again would bring that equivalence of unicorns up to 7, which is the number of the main group right now. But yeah, pretty much, if imitation is a serious form of flattery when it comes to this series, and basically, as we've seen with season 7, has shown that when legends are proven to be real, that the equivalent of what was then the heroes is going to be the main group, is going to be the main cast of characters now, if you know what I mean. In other words, and I know it sounds like I'm rambling, so I do apologize. In other words, what that means is when GroGar has to be defeated, it's going to take either, like I say, the main 6, main 7 being the equivalent of that group of unicorn warriors that slowed him down, that kind of stalled him, beat him, kind of put him in Tartarus, if you will, temporarily, or something like that, in the past. The main group is going to be the equivalent of them. Or what's going to happen is it's going to be relied on to where the main group's probably going to have to find some magical power on all that that's going to enable Twilight, Celestia, Luna, Cadence, as well as possibly Starlight and Rarity, and maybe throw in Sunset possibly, we don't really know, to defeat GroGar. Now, this could also be something special as well, because we could actually get all unicorn characters. Now they could, what I'm saying is they could also make this real special as well, because we could end up having all unicorn characters, main and semi-main characters, secondary, whatever, put into a scenario to where they're the ones that have to defeat GroGar, that they're going to be equipped with this power, almost at the last second to defeat him. It reminds me basically of the ending of the X-Men 4-parter, Beyond Good and Evil. Well, basically, Apocalypse, he was kidnapping all these psychics from all around the universe and time and space and all that. So he can basically use the power to rewrite history. And basically, in the end, it was the psychics, after they got broken free of their imprisonment, they used their power combined to defeat Apocalypse for the time being, to send him basically into a limbo for the time being. Now, how does that match up to this? Well, quite simply, I think if they were to involve all the unicorn characters, like I say, main ones, secondary ones, what have you, they'd probably pull something off. They'd try to probably pull something off. They'd probably, what I'm trying to say, is pull something off like that for the finale. They would. They would probably try to do that if they wanted to go in that direction. But like I said, imitation is just a serious form of flattery. And in this case, they're either going to go the route they did with season 7, and that's have the main 6, and maybe this case main 7, including Starlight, be the ones that equal up to being the unicorn warriors of this generation, defeating him. Or you're going to have the main group go on these quests, or go on these numerous adventures, or whatever the episodes are going to center around, to find these powers that will enable them to come together to defeat GroGar. And what I'm saying is, they'll go on these quests to find these powers, or parts of whatever they got to do to enable the unicorns and the alicorns that I mentioned, the 6 or 7 that are going to come together, which, like I said, are going to be the 4 princesses, Starlight and Rarity, maybe Sunlight, maybe Sunset or Sunburst, who knows. And, they're going to come together, use this power that Twilight and her friends, the Twilight, Rarity, and Starlight and their friends found, to defeat him. Because he's going to be so powerful that it's going to take a special magic that only unicorns or even the chosen can use. I mean, it makes sense in the end to probably go that route. Probably, like I said, it probably makes sense in the end to go that route, because when you think about it, how else are you going to defeat an entity that's basically being described as being very powerful in his previous bio, as well as being described as powerful in a story that Twilight read to her niece? Basically saying that, yeah, they beat him, but it still wasn't enough to fully defeat him. It's going to be quite interesting on how they showcase him, because he's supposed to be described as this character that feeds on fear. They will kidnap they will kidnap unicorns or ponies and teleport them into this necromancy, because that's what he's known as, sort of like the Lord, the King of Necromancy or something like that. You know, send them into this world to be tormented, or he takes over their world. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they incorporate that. Another thing that's going to be interesting is, you know, how big is this event, this moment's going to be? Because if he's going to be the finale, the final antagonist, the final major villain of the entire series, are they going to do the standard two-parter, or are they going to go 4 parts? Because in his original appearance back in G1, they did 4 parts. Now, I don't know if that was just a 2-part episode that was divided into 4 mini chapters, you know, two-part 11-minute, 2 11-minute parters, or whatever it's called, or if it was 4 full episodes. We don't know, which is the equivalent of 8 mini chapters. We don't know. But all I do know is it's going to be, like I say, really interesting to see how they incorporate GroGar and how they're going to present him, and how many episodes they're going to, you know, run with when it comes to his, you know, bringing his character into the fray. Like I said before, I think if they want to do a made-for-television movie, especially a movie finale for the series, Season 9, if that's the last season, is the best time to do it. And if GroGar is being described as the kind of antagonist and villain he's going to be, a movie is basically most suited for someone like that to be introduced in. So, but those are just all my thoughts on how I think GroGar will be presented, and potentially how he's going to be defeated in the end, because you know they got to end Friendship is Magic off on a happy note, unless, like I said, they go the whole cliffhanger route where he's so powerful that whatever happens in the end causes some kind of whiteout and causes a soft retcon reboot that connects G4 with G5, and there you go. It connects G4 with G5, and that's where you get all these different character redesigns and stuff like that. So we'll have to wait and find out. And the way they start G5 is with a white in and probably a recap of what happened previously. But we'll just have to wait and see. I got to get back into work right now, probably get myself a little quick bite to eat. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think on possibly how GroGar will be presented in Season 9 and potentially the last season of Friendship is Magic. Let me know down below. Comment if you like. I'm out.